All right. We're getting started here. Make sure we're good to go there. Rock and roll. Okay. A couple behind the scenes things I had to take care of. Why the hell Discord's no longer doing its silencing of my system sounds is really frustrating. So you guys heard Discord message sounds. Whoever that is, I'll have to get back to you. All right. Let me make sure everything else is up to date. Hope you guys are having a good start to your week. Dasha coming in on Twitch. How you doing, buddy? Good morning to you. Good evening to me. Phone all set. Make sure it's not. Okay. For some reason I thought it was making sound on my phone. And get my laptop set up. So Dasha, what's been new for you, man? How are things on your end? Continue to click the wrong things. Pretty casual night tonight, tomorrow and Friday, to be honest. We're going to be working on these prefab editing programs. Not much. Usual working game. There you go, right? Okay. Now that YouTube has cooperated, maybe. Okay. Good grief. If I have to cut the stream sooner because I ate some bad leftovers and I ain't doing that on live on the stream. And we'll just keep it at that. Okay. Then hopefully the Twitch, YouTube, and Kick the name of the stream should have been updated. Okay, so I've already kind of started in on the build a little bit here. What the exact dimensions are going to be when we're done with it, I don't know. I do know that we're going to be extending more off to the side here. What I'm building is what I call Hillhold Manor. It's something that is connected to my comic book universe, I guess. And so it's going to be essentially a kind of a medieval fantasy style type home. and it's built into a hillside, into a rock face area that'll be off to the right here. And so what I have to do within 7 days to die here is I want to see if I can obviously build it for the building structure, but also the stone structure and everything like that. And we'll see if like the rest of the land and whatnot comes together as well. This place ideally would be placed into kind of a preset hillside or whatever, and then this would make up the rest of the hillside. I have no idea how the Fun Pimps do that, so we're just kind of creatively getting things started here. Had I had a little more prep time, I would have showed you the quick little blueprints that I was doing. All right, are we constantly getting the crickets or no cicadas? Damn it! Is there any way to get it? Gonna bug me. Oh well. The cool thing about version 2.2, maybe it was in 1.0 or beyond, I don't know. But the clock does not move now, whereas it used to in the editor program. And I think Jawoodle was telling me that you can play. Okay. Come on, get rid of the cicadas. All right, we'll see if that works. Desert Bear, good to see you too. How you doing? Oh shoot, I don't have my other chats up either. And sailing away. So I had to this last Sunday. I had to restart the computer, which means my bot is not running either. Oh, good heavens! Bro Stremmer. So there's the YouTubes. Kick for those not seeing what I'm doing. I'm basically, I got my 3 chats for Twitch, YouTube, and Kick separated on my ultra wide monitor here, so I could see all 3 of them and make sure I'm staying up to date with what you guys are talking about. But since I'm not the kind of streamer that broadcasts the chat on the screen, there's no concerns about me having all 3 chats necessarily combined into one of those programs that'll do that. So I'm thinking about doing that eventually. I just definitely want to make sure that I'm seeing and responding to everybody in the appropriate correct chat. So see how it goes. But I think that's yeah. Twitch, YouTube, Kick, in that order. So Desert Bear, what you been up to? What's new? Oh wait, I just right click, left click, left click. I know my right from left, don't I? There we go. I was testing out some of the paint on what I was building. I figured I needed to expand from what I was building. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so Hillhold Manor. I'm probably gonna paint. I'm gonna bring the brick work down. So if we actually go one brush at a time, copy that paint. And of course, there's different options for the paintbrush. Roller, you can do a much bigger space. Spray gun also. Paint surface paints the surface when you're on one spot. Here, I'll go ahead and show you. So it paints the whole thing that's connected on that one block face area. Left click to wipe it all off again. But yeah, paintbrush one block at a time. In addition to that, you can tell it to paint all sides. I was so happy when the Fem Pimps introduced that within the core game, the vanilla game, not just in this part of the program. Okay, we'll see how that looks for now. This is definitely going to be a rough idea in my head, put into a practical 3D environment to see how it looks that way. And then I think somewhere in between, there's going to be my illustrated comic book version that I'll do. But yeah, so main entryway, ideally there'd be 2 doors here. One come in and, await permission to enter further. I don't know, something like that. But then, yeah, to the left here is going to be the bar, recreation room for guests and for the inhabitants here. Back here is going to be the kitchen. I don't know if it's going to be this deep, but for now it is. In here will be a library, so this will be a fun little library area. Second floor, basically all of the spare rooms, at least I think 6 of them, so 3 on one side, 3 on the other, and a main hallway down the middle. And then the master bedroom will be over here, the full length of the library, and I'll try to find some fun things to do there for the master bedroom design. Dash, are gonna lurk while you work? All right, buddy. Speaking of which, you reminded me I gotta get my chat bot active. Yoink. There.
You want some coffee? That's a good idea.
Yeah. All right, that's working. Funny thing is the cicadas here in Georgia have been also going to town. So, all right. So I'm going to be expanding the ceiling some more, and of course we're building this whole thing out of concrete blocks. It's not super important which blocks I use. It is really just to see what I could put together. And I mean, like I said before, going from there with like final design in my comic book as an illustration. But if I could create a 3D version, and then technically a 3D version that people themselves that play 7 Days to Die could possibly also get to interact with, I think that would be pretty fun. Something that I've wanted to do for many years, and in some cases I've just kind of hesitated on because I've been waiting for the Fun Pimps to get to more of a final version of the game. But I think we're getting somewhere in the context of what I'm saying. We're getting there. In some cases I don't need to. There. Let's do that. And then was it Shift G? Yeah. You just grab the armature that you need to extend the block, or the selection, excuse me. If I wanted to go thicker, yeah. I currently have concrete selected. You press L, and it pastes it in there. Backspace to clear the selection. I think also left click to clear the selection. But yeah, so Hillhold Manor, the idea here is that it is a house, several rooms. It's for some characters. that admittedly the story isn't technically going to even be here for a long time, like years down the road, but this has been a real fun creative thing for me. And it's it's very basic right now, so it's very hard to kind of like elaborate without giving away a lot of story too. But yeah, I've been writing a lot lately. A lot of character background, story, lore, everything for my stuff I'm doing. And so with that, because I've been finally able to dive into stuff after 15, 20, 25 years since I had done it before, now I'm approaching this creative, let's just say 25 years later approach where I've got these ideas and now I get to implement them and they get to also have 25 years worth of see, stone block. 25 years worth of other creative influences, right? Things that I've learned um, from other stories I've read, from actually sitting and thinking through the logic behind some of the things that I'm wanting to do. I don't know. Basically, I feel like it's being improved upon because I've learned and I've grown myself, so the stories have too. Could always trim and shape and do whatever we want with this as we build. The idea here again is that this is built into a rock face, and so now it's all about kind of like taking a whole bunch of clay and just building something, maybe a little bit like Close Encounters of the Third Kind, right? We get to build this and say this means something. This is important. Okay. And the terrain blocks do definitely place themselves weird. You got little dips and divots there. Yeah, we'll see. So not sure what you're saying. I think it's like the third time you posted on my YouTube channel. Any way you could speak in English so I know what you're saying? Because I hate to keep timing you out. All right. Yeah, I don't know what it is you're trying to say. This third time now, and I'm not getting any response, so I have to. Where are we at? Da, da, da. Da, 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 da. Ba, ba. Du, 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 du. Okay. Yeah, I feel bad. I don't know what you're saying, but at the same time, it's like If you're saying something bad, I don't want you in my chat. Can't confirm it, then I gotta time you out. Okay, anyways. Could be the secrets that unlock the mysteries of the universe. Oh, the Alright, so let's also, oh, you know what else we need to do is we need to show ground. Show ground level. There we go. It's a little bit easier on my eyes, depth perception wise. So let's go here to here for now. In fact, let's just go ahead and that also. What's the best way to carve away from some clay for sculpting? Make a big block. So right off to the side, like I said, this is built into a mountainside. We can something fun like that and gradual. Almost do the old school 7 Days to Die where it was almost Minecraft and blocky, right? Like I said, we'll sculpt it. So yeah, so let's get back a little bit here. So like I said, imagine this is almost to the top of the hill, and then that's like the peak, right? The rock peak tip of it. Use this as a placeholder that maybe it goes up another 5 or 6 or 7 meters or something. But yeah, so we'll make it so it's like basically some of it was chiseled out here and the building's kind of placed into the rock surface. Now, what I would love is if the Fun Pimps had made running water, aka a waterfall. Now, Navezgane had a waterfall, but it was, I think, what do you call it? Fudged with a little bit to make it work, so that it came down. But I think it also flowed backwards because of the way the water moves in the game. So because of that, when they started adding a little bit more flow to the water, it ended up making that waterfall flow backwards. Now I haven't been to Navezgane since Alpha 21, and I might go over and see if they did anything else with the waterfall. If anybody in chat knows, feel free to chime in. But yeah, so my idea here is essentially just trying to take what I have in my head from my artwork, from my illustration, and go from there. In fact, I can add it. Did that right? There we go. I don't know how I accomplished that with that one little part poking out. Yeah, it's just easy to do stuff like this real quick and then take away later. And didn't I? Tree for large. Fine. Differences on some of these. Basically placeholders too, just get a rough visual. Now the hard part with any sculpting is people that are impatient. Sometimes that's me. Where you don't want to wait until the end results, and I don't blame anybody for that. But why we're gonna spend the next couple nights doing this on stream, so I can roughly get what I'm trying to think of in my head out on the game here, and then, like I said, illustrating wise, you'll see drawings from me, which technically Patreon and Discord members have seen already. My sketch. It's fine. So speaking of which, let me see. Did I add? Okay, so I added Photoshop to this stream, but that's not what's at. Let's do add an image. Hillhold one. Bloom. All right. Go. Okay. So I did this in Photoshop. I'd say real quick, but it took me like an hour or something like that. So real quick is subjective. But yeah, so this shows you kind of a floor plan layout. Right above me is the the like I was saying the rock that's built into the rock hilltop. Where my camera is where a waterfall that leads to a creek, and then path from the door just something simple dirt while the rest of it's grass. So this was one of the base ideas from the overtop view floor plan view of what I was thinking, and then I'll show you the hill two. Now you guys should be able to see the top view after turn off that one. So yeah, and again, very basic, right? There's not a lot of details. I just wanted to get the basics in there. So this is the second floor, and you know, we'll be able to refine this a lot more by actually building it out in meters. With meter blocks, cubic meters of the game. It'll be much more, I think, tangible and accurate. I think for following this. So we'll we could refer back to that at any time tonight. Yeah, tonight I just wanted to kind of ease in. But yeah, can you imagine like if we had working water in this game, being able to add a waterfall here, and then it would lead to, like I said, water flow to a creek that would go out here, and technically, according to my design, it would then go this way. In this case, southwest, There is like a windmill over here, and it goes downhill. Hillhold Manor goes downhill to an area of land right before a township, a village of some sort. I know the name of the village, but you guys aren't supposed to know it yet. So, all right. I think this. Oh wait, no. Let's do that. And then delete selections, editing, clear the selection, replace everything with errors J. Yeah, I couldn't remember if it was K or J. Okay, so concrete, fill. But yeah, I did a half block here to see if this looks better with the way the ceiling is up a little bit higher. Now, if this is like a bar / recreation lounge type room, like it's not as big as like the Overlook Hotel in The Shining, things of that nature. But it's a place that's got a specific focus on having a lounge area for guests. And technically, I've got something else. Unlike the Alamo, I was thinking this place has a basement. Sorry, Pee-wee's Big Adventure joke, if you guys know it. It's in the Alamo basement. This will likely be kind of a classic wood stairs going up with a couple chandeliers, probably up here. That wall in. All right, so how many blocks does that put this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 blocks high? I think that's about what I was thinking before. Which means doing the equivalent for the next floor. 1, 2, 4, 6. Which means I'll end up modifying the hill. Sorry. All in due time. All in due time. Cap that off. Okay. I think that might be 12 blocks high, and we can find out by doing this. 13 blocks high. Oh, because the block on the bottom here is a block, and then 12 more blocks up from that. But yeah, that's something they added to the selection here now, is that you see the depth and the width and stuff. That's pretty cool. I like that they made that a little bit more approachable as far as design goes. And yeah, sorry, I am gonna jump around from part to part. if tonight I could get a rough idea of what is or is not working, doodle on my lunch breaks and stuff at work, and go from there on what I want to change or keep. Okay. We were going to this height. Still. Yeah, if it's and obviously I can change this later, but I want to put in a mock-up of a window. What style of window we could obviously work on later. But yeah, so if that is that. No. Shutter? What's it called? Great. There's probably another specific block for it, but for now, represented blocked for the for the example. All right, so yeah, let's see. Windows with shutters. And then the other thing, let's go ahead and close the close up the wall here. Worked the way I wanted it to. Okay, oh, it's because I was halfway inside a block. Yeah. We're gonna replace those half blocks over there. Regular. Just go ahead and put something in, and then remodel where necessary. I was gonna just repeat what we had there. Right? Oh wait, that's 1 to 2. That seem. Oh, because it's all about block placement, where it's placed. So let's place on that side because it's over there. This one has to be on that side. 1, 2, 3 in the space. 1, 2, 3 space. No. There. Slaps, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Was that another? No, that's full-size block. Well, what the hell? There we go. 3. Then half beveled. Just know the name of that one. So the only downside about the editor program is it doesn't quite follow the same rules as the vanilla in-game editing sometimes. And so you've got to, like in here, it's specifically, like as you're aiming, it specifically collects the block space within that 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter cubic meter block. So I could be aiming for that right side stairwell right now to copy its shape. It's going to actually copy this very first block that's in my way, that's taking up the space that's overlapping with that other one I want to copy. You know, things like that. So it's very particular. All right, Cherish, hey, how you doing? Oh, we're coming in with a raid. Why is my system freezing?
Orange mocha frappuccino!
Jitterbug. Oh, what the heck? Why did it freeze? You're so epic with your raid that you broke my bots. Welcome, welcome. Come on in, Raiders. Pull up a chair, sit back, relax. All right, last doing Phasmophobia. Nice, nice, nice. How's that been going? We'll slaps down a few light sources. Yeah, kills it. My bot. What did you do? Oh, yeah. What am I doing? I don't know. How do you play this game? There we go. Fill that in. All right, so that way we have a little bit of a symmetrical design started with the entryways here. If we want to adjust or change them later, we can. Trying to get Lighthouse achievement. I don't know that. What's that? How am I liking 2.2? I'm enjoying it. A lot more than I was a month or so ago, or 2.0, 2.1. I enjoyed it enough during streamer weekend, but I also had some reservations because other people are having a hard time with 7 Days to Die currently. I empathically, I guess I'm calling it, was feeling how frustrated other people were being, so I was being frustrated too, and I just kept diving in and playing, and just finding out that no, I'm having a good time with it. I got my things that I want different or changed or updated or whatever. I got my ideas too, but I'm personally still having a good time with the game. So, so much so that I'm continuing to want to get into the editor program here and use it to build a 3D representation of a comic book building that I've got that I'm designing. And since it was top of mind, it's I think a really good one for me to jump into a program like this for tonight, tomorrow, and Friday to kind of play around with it, get a 3D representation, and then go back to my drawing board. Right. Guess 50 goes correctly in the lighthouse. Because I don't know that one. Okay. Now, trying to get the lighthouse achievement. So you still, not to ask for spoilers, but does that mean you haven't gotten it yet? If not, I do wish you luck on that. As always, if you guys are wanting to know how I did something in the editor program, I'm more than happy to walk through it. I will narrate what I'm doing in some cases, and then in other cases, I'm just kind of doing it and seeing what happens. Okay, so you haven't gotten it yet? Gotcha. Okay, well, again, I hope you do. I do love the idea of going for achievements in some of these games, and trying to get something accomplished. I was able to get 7 Days to Dies, But then I was noticing Rocket Leagues. Rocket Leagues is my Steam. What did you do to my Steam? Oh, it's right there. Yeah, like Rocket League, I've got 58 out of 88 achievements. And I do have to wonder, since it's I think Rocket League's company was bought by somebody or something, and then I think they've changed some things. So I don't know if they've got like achievements that are no longer possible. I'm wondering if that's the case. Um, oops, erasing, erased existence. Now, do I want to do hardwood floor here? And of course, it's not going to be aimed the way I want it to. I think I would want the boards to face the other way, but oh darn. Yeah, what? Actually, that's not bad. So this space here, this is like, you know, come in out of the weather, stomp your boots around, put your boots off to the side, hang your coats, do all that stuff before you enter somebody's home kind of area. So we can have the rough looking wood here to do all that stomping around, and this lovely, no stains on it whatsoever looking flooring here. Actually, isn't there a even more wood oak? Yeah, man, this is one of those like slick looking floors that, like, if you take your shoes off but you got your socks on, and you know you got a fresh pair of socks for the day, that you could just glide across the floor like Tom Cruise. What was that money? Risky Business, or was that money? What was that movie? Risky Business. All right, let me add that. That's kind of fun. Uh, yeah. Realistically, if this were to be a created POI, obviously the Fun Pimps have made much bigger stuff. It's just wonder if, well, we could always practice. We could have a test world that we could load something like this in. Because yeah, truthfully, if I were to build the actual if I were to build it as its own designed hillside, it would need to be moved up. And I found that out recently. I don't know if you could before, but yeah, even right here, and I have to remember the prefab tools. Show ground level, you can move up, move down. Then down here, move prefab, move up, move down. So move up, moves it up by 1 meter. You know, so move up again. So knowing that I am going to be putting stuff underneath, we could keep moving it up a little bit more. Now, when it comes to placing a prefab building inside of a world, I can kind of remember, and we did this with version 1 a little bit, because I was checking to see if we could still do that. I made like a simple little cabin or whatever. I don't know if I'll be doing that with tonight, tomorrow, or Fridays. Maybe I will. And then I said this in version 1. I'm gonna have to just remember to do it again with 2.0 here, or 2.2 now. Is I'll try to make a specific video on it. To be honest, I think a couple others have better videos than me, but If you are looking to me for the source of info, then I'll happily take those views, and I'll try to put a video together to get them. All right, so if this is going to be a bar, let's just slap some blocks down. Again, the cool thing is you know, you put all this stuff together. You can take it apart, add it back, take it apart, and then once you've got it locked in the way you want to. The only thing is and I forget if there's a calculate stability, or yeah, show stability. This is new to me, so I don't know. Did I break it? Stability glue. Oh, so remember what I did? I lifted it up off the ground. So technically, all of this would collapse if we loaded it in a couple blocks above. It's got nothing down here attached to ground. However, if I were to place it in a world, and then I specifically tell it to lower it down and mesh with the ground, which is part of what this is here, is trying to get the ground even. Then at that point, it'll be fine. So I don't know, let's turn this off. But I'm gonna have to. Oh, wait, here we go. Physics active. I'm not going to click that because I don't want to lose everything here. But that's either new to me or it's new overall. Okay. Yeah, I think at some point I'll do a video, and then I'll do a video where we're just starting from scratch, and I'll probably try to go through some of this as I learn it. In the meantime, what we can do though, here to the opposite corner. Oh, it's actually going below, but it won't fill in below. That's right. Okay, which is fine. I just want to put firm ground in. Currently set it a couple blocks up. Come out a few more blocks too. All right, y'all with me on this journey so far? Let's do a number count here. 1, 2. Oh, right. We could do this quicker by going like that. To that. It is 26 blocks wide. All right. What is an even amount if we were to put windows in? 3. Okay, I guess I took a screenshot. I don't know what I did there. That's kind of a fun little arc. And I'm trying to remember if there is blocks that I'm thinking of that would do. I mean, I could just do something like this. 1, 3. Nah. There's more substance to it. Okay. But yeah, if this is a lounge area, let's get chair. Oh. I keep thinking that. There we go. We have to drag it to the. So yeah, now something fun like that. Let's put up above. And we'll specifically put lighting in that we want to. Friday night, I may have said that I was going to do that tonight, but I needed to get more stuff built. Friday night, I will definitely go over lighting controls. And that specifically is how to make a prefab place that has preset light. Light could have some flicker to it to make it more dramatic, like it's the lights going out in the hallway, scary movie type stuff. Having a different color for the light, red, green, blues, pinks, whatever. How to adjust that, dim, lower the brightness of the light. You can control all of that within the Prefab Editor tool. So, so I could even make this. Plate. Oh, before we put plate in. Technically, there's a block that would work better for that, but yeah, see, that's like a high bar kind of thing. All shapes. Let's see if we can find it. But yeah, there should be one that's like half the height, and it's already preset as a good counter. Sorry, not counter. Something like this. But it's got to be half the height. Yeah. The other thing is there could very well be a block that I'm looking for. My eyes could go left, right, past it, and miss it. So you guys do have to catch something. Feel free to call it out. So I think something like this was initially for making a table of some sort. But these are too tall, But that's kind of fun up against a wall, like in some of the POIs, you have like the chemistry stations on them or something like that. But yeah, I want to make it specific. Well, let's put a placeholder in for now. Ice. Yeah, so basically your drinks get to sit in the middle. You get to lounge and talk to your friends. I think the hard part about the whole 1 meter by 1 meter scenario that's in this is there's a lot of times where you could really utilize moving this up a half a meter here, right? And you still have foot space. The immersion of it, of actually walking in and sitting down, kind of feel to it. Otherwise, something seemed like too spaced out, being 3 meters away, trying to talk to your buddies in a seating area like this seems kind of too big. I mean, what if the music's loud and you're trying to hear your buddy? I guess that's why you move to the one sitting next to him, right? Anyways, general placeholder for now. We can gauge out distance of things. Also, this is not to say that this is what the design's actually going to be. I'm just putting the stuff in for now. See how it looks. Yeah, and if we're interested in lining things up a little bit better, the rooms up above, of course, could have some sort of equal line down with the windows in the rooms, and the windows down here can have some sort of some symmetry as well. I'll admittedly, I'm trying not to say symmetricality. That's Josh's. Josh's, not my word to use. Yeah, see, that's where we end up if I continue this current spacing. I mean, want to come around the corner and have all that there. I don't know. This would fill in. Hell, I might find that I need to eliminate, 2 blocks worth of stuff on here, 3 blocks, whatever. Could trim it down. Okay. Having a bar, in my original design, I was also making kind of a servery entrance. This is just supposed to be the folks working behind the bar have access. Back to the plate. Plate. Din, din, din. Yeah, so pretend that you can open that up, and enter. The cool thing is I think I've seen the Fun Pimps put some sort of like a leaning version of the plate. Is the Leaning Tower of Jesus. Dun, 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 dun. Plate. Slope plate. Huh. I wonder. I suppose we could find a we say that's completely flipped up and over, right? Something like that. Now, the bar itself. Let's get rid of plate. There are blocks with a two-tone to them where they have a thin strip up top and the rest of the block down below, and you can paint them differently. Here we go. Cube baseboard, 4-side. Yep, there we go. Dang it. Well, and the amount of time I did that, I probably could have just placed them down myself. Oops. Stepped on the turn. I was gonna say it's gonna collapse. No, it's not gonna collapse because in the editor program, until you turn on the physics, the weight or whatever, it won't collapse. Continue to get a good rough idea of what this would look like. Half block. So again, this is the hard part about this is the half block, so it won't place something down on the object. It places it the next meter up. I was gonna basically put the lanterns on each seating table, right? Start getting that atmospheric look. Do it this way. And again, this is the cool thing about being in the editor program is that you use these as turning on, turning off. Ambiance, right? Sure, why not? Rangers in the night, exchanging glances, rangers in the night. What were the chances? Oops. Yeah, see, again, like, I was pretty sure I copied rotation on this one, but because I tried to do it from this block space, it copied that one instead. Or maybe it didn't change at all. Oh. Okay. Okay. We're going to copy that block. Should be regular block. Yep. Not Jenny from the block. Just a regular block. Blockhead. Oh, bother. Oh, wait. Oh, brother. Oh, bothers from Winnie the Pooh. There's barrels right now in the game. There's objects. Yeah. Darn it. I keep thinking I'm clicking on it to use, and it's not that way. Okay, so just kind of Most everything is going to be placeholder, and we modify accordingly where needed. Cabinets. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, you could do the random helper. So, and some of the stuff is loot containers. So again, if you're making your own POI, you can genuinely say this one does become a loot container. Now, I want one that I can pick the shape right here, right now. But I don't know if materials, that's the paint. Yeah, this isn't the one with shapes. Got to have the symbol like this does. Got that little square, circle, triangle symbol. What's it called in the crafting? Cabinets, cupboards. It's not the same in here. Now, has anybody seen? Is there a version here? I don't think so. Wood cap jar. Yeah, very interesting. It doesn't seem to be the shape version here. Probably because it doesn't have that many shapes, and it just gives you all the versions here. Got to remember to. Okay. So that's what that is. All right. What am I trying to get at? What am I doing? We could do it right. Just want to make it look like we've got a whole bunch of that stuff there. Now, isn't there bottles? But no shape menu on that. Yeah, so that way I could just say, hey, there we go. There's stuff for on the shelf. Saloon style. Either that one or like the really bad wallpaper one, right? This one. That's kind of fun. All right, so it's a servery to something like that for fun. It's all about knowing like button to push too. All right, so that's top. So is there a drapes bottom? Full. All right, yeah. So that way, nobody goes in the back room that's not supposed to. We're supposed to. Yes, technically, this is a much bigger kitchen than I was initially thinking about. This will be a kitchen back here. Food storage. So I'll play with that a little bit later. What's that? It's a shadow, I guess. Okay. Library will be closed off in the sense that there won't be an open window like that. But I did like didn't there used to be stained glass and now there isn't? Was that a paint texture? Was that a glass window option? Damn, can't remember. Again, somebody in chat knows. Please do chime in. Triple check this. Yeah, because we'll at least be able to do the the bookcase texture. Glass industrial. Glass opaque. That one's the one with oh, here's heat vent industrial. I bet you that was you know, what we could do for the shutters. Kind of. I don't know, maybe it was better to thin enough. Yeah. No, because that's gonna look metal. Yeah, with that sheen. So go. What paint am I going here? Do that. Hammock, great. Oh, okay, that's not the on-face option, is it? Isn't the option I thought it was. I don't know. Am I being too picky on that? It's still fun. You're doing like windows that are too wide above windows that are 3 wide. I'm just setting myself up for disaster here unless I'm able to get better with spacing out the rooms up top. We'll get to those when we get to those. Okay, what time is it? 9:26. Oh my goodness, we're an hour and a half in. With with a half hour to go. Doing 2 hours tonight, 2 hours tomorrow. Go a little bit longer on Friday night, of course. That's when we'll delve in a little bit deeper on some stuff. All right, so jumping around some more here. Let's do that. That. So that's filled in. Now, should I do the roof facing this way? What am I doing? Let's see. Cheaper. Skip a few. Yeah, I could go to a full peak, or I can have just this nice rounded off top. In the comic, in the story, it's thatch roofed, so I'm not an expert on thatch roof, but the what I picture in my mind is that they never went to an absolute peak. That they did kind of round off. But I don't know. Could be wrong. Whole world could just come collapsing down, shattering my dreams and hopes. What could be, it what once was. Slaps. Wait, you're not an expert on thatched roof? I am not. Sorry to disappoint. Is that like a real flips table moment for you, Slaps? Like, well, what the hell? Oh, wait. That's big. I think that's wrong. Yeah, it is. Well, just for the one part. Sailing away. Is that right? Find out. I did. Stop moving over. All right, this way. Yeah, so yeah. I keep pressing F instead of G. So it's Shift G to. That's still a couple more. But yeah, shift when you have the selection you want. Z to one point, Z to the other point. Shift G gives you the little armatures here to move the size and shape. Yeah, since I'm not currently thinking about doing any kind of attic space, I'm just gonna fill it in. More for visual sake than practical sake for actual building. That works. Unicorn, how you doing? What you doing? I'm building. Building from my comic book, Hillhold Manor. Hillhold Manor. It's one of those names that came up with that I like how it looks when it's written, but when I have to say it, for some reason, I've been having a little bit of trouble lately. other block. Yep. A lot quicker than placing it one block at a time, but it still takes some time to do. That's fair. It seems like a mouthful. Only because I think I'm making it a mouthful. Hillhold Manor. There we go. Say it that way. But yeah, just to recap for anybody who's joining us, it's essentially a building that I was designing in my comic book. I've been sketching characters, designing characters, writing characters, and story and plot and lore and everything like that for the past month and a half now. And one of the things that came up is this place, which will take place later on, way down in the story. But yeah, this place will be fun to have for future story. So I sketched out a basic look. I did toss it into Chat GPT to give me like a 3D rendering, and then from there, I was showing everybody in the stream earlier a um, a quick little in Photoshop. I put together floor plan kind of design to give myself a good overview idea of what I'm trying to accomplish here. And so it's already proportionally kind of going off the base idea here. But this is, yeah, the first floor, very basic. First floor, second floor is master bedroom and six other rooms. It's just very, very simple here. However, the story itself, not to give it away, but yeah, there's something more to this place. So that's as much as I'm willing to say right now about it. But yeah, over here basically would be a waterfall coming down. So being able to come into something like 7 Days to Die and kind of toy around with the editor program here, so that I get a 3D representation, um, gives me a chance to kind of take a look at it, how it looks here, and then go back in and start sketching and drawing myself. Get out the pencil and start seeing what I want, what changes I would want to make. Because now I can have a way to zoom around and look at it in a 3D way, and then go back to 2 dimensional drawing. That's a cool POI. It's not even put together yet. If it does come together the way I'm wanting it to be, it should be really fun, I think. Put something like that there. To give you guys the 90-foot view or whatever, to give a rough idea of what you're seeing here. It's called Hillhold Manor. Hillhold Manor. Again, after a long day of work and I've been on the phone talking to people, I get really tongue-tied. The place is on top of a hill, and then when you get to it on top of the hill, you still have more of the rocky, mountainous stuff that goes up even further here. We'll probably go up even higher here to a peak or a point. I'll sculpt and move the rock design here, and have fun with it. So, what's it supposed to be? So it's from my comic book. It is a building, and I'm going to be a little bit vague about it, about what what it is, because that'll be story leading up to it. But it is a home of some characters, and it is yeah. So basically, coming back to 90-foot view will kind of answer your question by saying it's at the top of a hillside that is near a town, village, a township, or something like that. And so, built up on the hillside away from the town is this place. There'll be a windmill up here. There'll be a natural spring at the top of the hill here that will trickle down to a small waterfall here. Obviously, with 7 Days to Die, I might not be able to pull off the whole waterfall thing. But that forms a little bit of a pond area here, small creek to a pond, and then it's supposed to trickle down hill and go past the windmill. And Then from the front of the road down the hillside is a path that goes down to like one of the main roads that goes alongside the township. Township's like out over here, but still within reasonable view of the hillside is the thought in my mind for the drawing for the world I'm building and everything. So, being that this is I call it Hillhold Manor because in my mind, and someone can correct me if they know the term manor better than I do, but it is a place where you've got your home, you got your library study, um, you got a place set up for entertaining large amounts of guests. But in all practical reality, up here, and then it'll probably I think I set it up to come this way. I might change that though. Basically, in here is the master bedroom. Again, I'll show you the second floor. Yeah, see, my head's where the waterfall would be. But the master bedroom. In this case, I had put the entrance on here over here. It didn't really matter, so we'll say that the entrance is where the word stairs down is instead. Um, but yeah, so the idea here is master bedroom will be here, very large, right? Obviously a lot of space, and there is a reason behind that, and you'll have to read the story when it comes out. For those that don't know, no obligation when I say this, but patreon.com/Greg Scott Bailey will be the starting location that I kind of start putting some of this stuff. I just posted the link in all three of the chats, Twitch, YouTube, and Kick. You can sign up there for free. You can be a free member. You don't have to be there as a paid member. Paid members do get the access to Discord, just as a heads up. And as things develop, there will be eventual story that will be published. But in the meantime, I'm doing what I say is similar to what Steve Sejic does with Sunstone. And that is as I work on story, as I work on aspects of the book, the characters, everything, whatever I'm comfortable with sharing, I will then post so that people can read and see. So if you want the linear path, the story from start to finish in actual printed chapters that will be released, then I completely understand not partaking in the bits and pieces approach that I do. But I will be putting it out there because it's me after 25 years finally getting back to it. My artwork, my stories, and everything. And it's going to take time. One of the things that's taking time is the fact that I am trying to retrain myself to draw again. And that's been a little bit of a struggle lately on some aspects, and surprisingly hasn't been too much of a struggle on other aspects. I've been finding that there are a lot of things that I do still remember the rules of drawing, how to do things and whatnot, that they're coming together really well. So that's really nice. But I haven't been feeling comfortable yet doing the drawing streams. I was going to do that a couple weeks ago. I was going to start those up, but I'm not ready. But yeah, Slap says you say you need the specifics. Well, they're coming in due time. Oh, I have to build a product here. I can't just give stuff away for free. Not all the time. In a manner of speaking. To be perfectly frank, a lot of it will be for free, to be honest. Like I said, I'll be putting on my Patreon. There'll be stuff that I end up obviously tossing on Twitter and everything. It's just the majority of the stuff I want to put on my Patreon and Discord. All right, so yeah, we'll come upstairs. Now, if we keep this width from there to there, in this case, east to west, if I keep this actual width, then we got plenty of room for the bedrooms. Slaps. Nobody has time for vague generalities in this stream. We are in the TikTok, Instagram, YouTube stories or shorts or whatever era, aren't we? Where it's gotta be quick. It's gotta be 30 seconds. You spend longer than a minute talking about something, I get bored easily. Kind of world. Isn't that what kind of world we're in now? Chandelier. What's the difference? So chandelier light 2x2. Oh, there's like a bigger and a smaller one. Yeah, so that's kind of fun for the entryway. Obviously, I can fine tune it some more if I need to. Most everything, I'm going to repeat stuff, and this is part of what I'm repeating. Most everything is placeholder until I find a comfortable, yes, this is it, and then we lock in the design or something like that. We got a placeholder entryway, which again should have 2 big opening doors. I could put Trader Hugh's doors in. However, I wasn't able to put the stuff on the ceiling. Oh, actually, I do have them in the menu still. Yeah. So you can put these in. Problem is you shoot I loot is on the one side there, so that's still there. And again, since it's an object that takes up space, as in five blocks high, it takes up space by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's a 5x5, right? And the cool thing is there is some overlap. Lets you place stuff in. So I can't place blocks inside that space. I can't place it within the space either, or it takes place of that space of blocks. So at the very least, I could do something like that, right? And I didn't want to do that. not this design. Wait, did I? Yeah, so none of that changes. It won't let me place a block inside. But yeah, just to give you guys a visual. So, cool thing is, you could add Trader Hugh's door into the game, you know, if you want it somewhere. Bad thing is there are restrictions, and I would love to be able to have you know, the blocks that I want in this confined space. On top of that, you know, maybe I could do something a little bit different here, but I was thinking in my head, I didn't finish my sentence. What I could do, I could move these pieces up one, and I think this is what the Fun Pimps did for something else, right? Let's do that. Now let's copy shape and rotation. Damn. All right, where's the half plate? This one? Full plate half. We want regular plate half. And again, part of this is us kind of using blocks to fudge the thing we're trying to do. Yeah, we'll use one of those in a moment. See, once I start memorizing some blocks, it's a little bit easier to get to them. Plate 1/2, there we go. Okay. So let's do that, and damn it, why did it paint that too? All right, that's a problem with both all sides and the paint surface. Yeah, damn it. No, it counts that too. Do that. Let's pick a different wood. Yeah, there we go. So basically, let's say that's 1/2 of the door, right? And if the door swings inward, if the door swings both ways, we could reverse the particle flow through the door. How? We'll cross the streams. Use me, Egon. You said crossing the streams. Bad. Cross the stream. You're going to endanger us. You're going to endanger our client. You know, the nice lady that paid us in advance before she became a dog. Not necessarily. Definitely a slight possible chance we'll survive. Dun, 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 dun. I love this plan. I'm excited to be a part of it. Let's do it. Job is definitely not worth another $5 a year. See you on the other side, Ray. Nice working with you, Dr. Venkman. So, oh, also let's paint this side. Gosh darn, all the way to heck. This is just so important. Make sure we got it right. All right. So again, we're trying to budget, make it seem like this is an open door, even though it's not a usable open door. Okay. All right. And this is my favorite block I get to put in here. Plate diagonal filler, and it's already set where we need it. Hot dog. Hot dog, hot diggity dog, hot dog. Almost as if I knew what I was doing, you guys. Almost. Anyways. So there you go. There's your visual cheat. You get to make it look like the big doors are open. For those that weren't here at the beginning of stream, one of the things that I was saying about this entryway is that it's basically your come in with your dirty boots, stomp them off, take them off, put them off to the side before you go onto the nice hardwood floors. So, big uppies. Hey, how you doing? Thank you. Yeah, this is something that I think, and again, anytime you see these lanterns, they're temporary light placeholders. This is something that over time is going to be worked on, changed, moved around. There's a lot of things that could happen here. Yeah, look at that. That's it. Well, this whole foyer, is that the word? Could be this. Let's do the roller. Okay. Good tell if I was just kind of give myself a good little visual here. So the original reason that I have this divot here was because of the Trader Hugh door. So when it opens, or when it opened in that space, it sunk into the walls, right? So now you can't click on it to close it. So that was one of the downsides there. So design-wise, I did this back on one of the other builds that I was working on. Is I gave it a space that it went into that I could click on the door to close it again. Breaker, make it a POI base? Yeah, somewhat. I'll recap. Looks like some more folks coming in. So, Hillhold Manor. Hillhold Manor. Hillhold is one word. Is a place that I'm designing in my comic book, and I got ahead of myself, to be honest, and it's something that's way down the road. Way, way down the road. But I'm enjoying the design and what it's coming from so much so that I wanted to go ahead and get into designing it. So I was drawing, sketching it. For those in my Discord and in my Patreon, I have I posted my original quick little sketch. I did post a ChatGPT rendering interpretation of my sketch. However, again, as always, as a reminder, while I may use something like that to give me something that ChatGPT would recognize it or and turn into something, the intention is still that I am going to draw and design and put stuff together myself by hand drawn in any of the stories that gets published. So that's the asterisk to that. Anyways, so then what I further thought or went back to thought is, years ago when I started 7 Days to Die, one of the appeals of it was that I wanted to build the things that are in my comics and my stories, but the game wasn't quite there yet. And it still isn't quite there yet because we're waiting for Endgame, bandits, story, all that stuff, right? And so where that leads us to now is I'm just wanting to kind of get back into the idea of seeing what I could do with a two-dimensional representation that I sketch out, create a 3D version that I can immerse myself in, and then actually see tangibly how it looks in a 3D environment, walking around, doing what I can inside that environment, and then go back to my sketches, my designs, and everything, so that when I get to the point where the story happens at this place, I could say this all feels right, looks right according to what I'm sketching because I've actually built it. And then in turn, if people are into my comics, my stories, when I finally get them out, I've been saying for 25 years. When I finally get stuff like that out, the idea is if you guys are into it, you'll be able to actually walk through and see these things yourself if you have 7 days to die and you want to load something like this up and you get to see it. Obviously, the other alternative is um, building some sort of 3D model and having some sort of other alternative way that people can go through a 3D model. I don't know 3D rendering programs. I dabbled a little bit with, well, way back in the day, like 1995, 1996, I dabbled with 3D Studio Max. Um, but Blender, I dabbled into Blender 5 years ago when I first moved to Atlanta. So, and I'm talking dabbled like I made the donut. Everybody knows the donut, right? So, big uppies. It's always awesome to see people really paying more attention to detail when building, painting. I feel like this part of the game doesn't get enough recognition. Yeah, and I mean, on top of it, it's finding things that I like to do that overlap with other things I like to do. And, again, if I'm wanting to write and draw my own comic book stuff, there's a little asterisk to that, and I'll explain in a moment. But if I'm wanting to write and illustrate my own stories, then the idea there is, and I really love playing 7 Days to Die, Valheim, and stuff. Is what can I do where I can make this stuff overlap and um, be have it all cater one and just I don't know. Yeah, I guess overlap is the word. Where can it intersect to benefit both my hobbies and enjoyable side of things, video games, and the artistic side of me that wants stuff too. Seems like a great alternative as a do-it-yourself. Yeah. Yeah, finding overlap always feels great. Yeah, it's so we're still early stages of this. Tonight I did stuff like I moved it up a couple blocks, and we're at 10 o'clock now. We're just doing 2 hours tonight, 2 hours tomorrow. Tomorrow night, you guys. Just a heads up. And speaking of which, sailing away. Okay, making sure something doesn't happen while I'm closing out stream. But yeah, we're in the early stages here. Very obviously, like tonight, I went ahead and I added in more over here. Hillhold Manor, I think I was starting to say it, and maybe I stopped. But this is something that's going to be at the top of a hill, so this build itself might get pushed up even more. Boom, yeah. See, there you can do. You can move up, move down within the editing tools here. So if I get further along with this, I'm going to keep moving it up, and we're going to build actual hill structure to it. And I don't know how long it would take to load in. We'll find out eventually. But we'll after months of work on this, maybe we'll probably find we'll get a test world, and then we'll load this in. And then when it's in that test world, and when we're in the world editor, seed editor, something like that, we'll be able to move it up, down, rotate it, whatever we need to make it work within the environment that we place it in. And then we can load it up in a vanilla game, load up that seed, go to this location, and see how it is as a 7 Days to Die POI. Yeah, all good stuff. But yeah, so it's on top of a hillside. This is the hillside continuing up to a peak, a rock peak, basically. At this point, so Hillhold Manor. The loose saying is basically like it is holding the hill. you know, one of those kind of naming conventions for the place of the home. There's supposed to be a waterfall that will come down here and then go into a little bit of a pond. It'll arc around a windmill and such. And then once again, let me show you the quick little blueprint I did in Photoshop. So first floor, and again, my camera is where the waterfall is. Waterfall creek. Yeah, it's so detailed, so structured, right? But yeah, so it's just that simple. You put something like this together. Within an hour, I was able to make 2 floors worth of blueprints. And with no architectural background, for me, I just know the basics. I know you can do stuff like that's what the doors symbols are like when you have something open on architectural plans and stuff. So I just did a very basic look of that, where the stairs were going to be and such. The path from the door is going to be a dirt gravel thing, so we'll be able to do that in 7 Days to Die. The rest of it's grass. Um, but yeah, so the whole tip, everything rock is there, and yes, the master bedroom is huge, and there is a reason for that, which you guys won't find out for your many years, because this place does not take place in story for quite some time. I think that's a good way to say it. Yeah. But what you guys will see is we'll also work on stuff that is within like beginning of story as well, where I'm if I could stick to it, I'll tell you right, like the main character guy, Tim Garn, his apartment building, I'm wanting to build that, just so I have also something like that in a 3D rendering. Um, it's loosely based off of 2 different apartment buildings that I lived in my life. One was a 1-bedroom apartment style, and one was a 3-bedroom apartment style that I was roomed up with friends. We basically we all split the rent and everything like that. And so some of my memory of those 2 places is what's going to amalgamate and go into the apartment that my character Tim Garn's going to be at the beginning of the comic book story that I'm doing. Now, I said asterisk earlier when I said comic book. The old school thing that I wanted to do is that I wanted to create a comic book, 28 page, flip through the pages, comic book style, taller than it is, wider. Um, but the further along in life that I've gotten and where direction is going, I'm most likely going to be doing digital illustrated story. And some of it will be comic book style panels, some of it will be just one big splash image. And I'll find a way that's comfortable for me to tell a story, whether I'm going to be coming from a narrative style or if we're just strictly going right into the characters speaking dialogue and maybe just those narrative boxes up above the image. So the next 5 months, we in August, yeah. The next 5 months is really my deadline to lock down what style and design I'm doing while I'm also writing the story. And a lot of that back end stuff is designing buildings like this, designing things that will be in the comic itself. And then, like I was saying before, and then if I do it right, then it ends up being something that, if you guys are 7 Days to Die players, you have a chance to get the file, load it up yourself, and have fun walking around in something that's in my comic book story. If all is done and finished and worked on and made possible. So, but yeah, I'm a couple minutes over time, you guys. Like I said, it's only going to be a couple hours. Um, Feel free to start fresh tomorrow if you can come in at 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and we'll jump right back into this here again. Friday night, we'll spend a little bit more time. I mentioned earlier, Friday night, we'll also be working on lighting panels. I'll load some into this build here and show you guys how you can adjust the brightness, the dimness, the colors that you could do, make them blink, of things of that nature. Um, oh, it started an ad break. Can you guys still hear me on Twitch? It's hilarious. I should have dismissed it. Because, yeah, I don't know if it's one of those ads that you could still hear me, but it tosses up a banner or something like that. All right, 30 seconds and then we'll be back. All right, come on, Twitch. Work with me here. All right, Twitch. Are we back? Are we back from ad break? Please say yes. Back. All right, big uppies. Thanks for confirming. I appreciate it. All right. Yeah, I held off what I was saying because I saw it went to ad break. I should have dismissed it so it wouldn't go to ad break. So yeah, tomorrow we'll be back on this 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. and then Friday night. I'll spend a little more time Friday night. I'll also be starting at 8 p.m. on Friday night, but we can go like till midnight, till 2 a.m., something like that. And Friday night we'll work on lighting panels. Tomorrow I'm still going to continue to work on more nuances and placing things and feeling this out and see how it feels. But Friday night, some people were asking about doing lighting panels. They are not in tonight, so I'll wait until Friday night to give them the opportunity to see that stream. Because they're wanting to know how to do the controls and everything like that. And yeah, I don't think there's a thatch roof like texture, is there? Come on, fun pimps. Give us thatch roof blocks. Oh, wait. Sorry, I should be closing out stream, but one more thing. Hat, not hat. Hey. Yeah. Dude, we'll be able to add hay bales. The overall design is coming from a medieval fantasy type design. So, with how much do I want to say? Something or some possibilities of modern items at play. Bullcat Gaming, that's a fire hazard. No. See, the torch is on this side. The hay is on this side. It's safe. Isn't that how it works in the real world? How you doing? Good to see you. Okay, yeah. Again, I gotta close up. I do have a long work day tomorrow, so I can't push it too much tonight. Oh, God, I really would love to keep working on this. So tomorrow we'll continue to just play around. I'll be placing things random here or there. I'll go back over what I'm willing to express and say about the building itself. Here's what else I will say. Like I said, well, at some point we'll make an apartment building, and then I'll let you guys know that basically. Oh, I could do that too. Sorry. Let me say there is a township that I would love to build, and this might go back into the town build idea on a server, whether it's public server like the Skynet Gamer servers, or one I do myself. I don't know what the future holds right now. Just ideas, throwing the spaghetti against the wall and see what sticks. Tim Garn's apartment, my main character in my comic. We're going to build his apartment building. Now, if you guys know a lot of the standard apartment buildings, right? They would have like building A, B, C, D, or whatever, right? So he's in B building. I'll at least say that. But yeah, so he is in one of those somewhat cookie cutter type apartment complex neighborhoods, right? So you've got 5, 10, I don't know how many. So if we were actually to build the apartment building itself, technically we could just go into a seed, a world, and say place this apartment building, go over and find the next spot we would want an apartment building, just paste the same thing in again, next spot, paste, and we could actually make an apartment complex. Love this. Okay, so that's possible brainstorm stuff that'd be down the road. It's going to take some time, obviously. while I'm building something in my story that's way down the road, something like Tim Garn's apartment is something that I could build within um, the next few months, and you guys will start seeing some clips and scenes and everything like that from the story itself that I'm going to draw and illustrate. So that's kind of give you. Yeah, I hate to be vague about some stuff. I'm still trying to just weigh out how much I want to release for story and info, and how much I want to keep close to the vest for it. Because there's got to be some surprises, right, when you read the story. Yeah, awesome. So appreciate y'all coming out tonight. Thank you for your patience and kindness as I also kind of try to figure out what I'm trying to do here. Don't forget tomorrow, back for another couple more hours, 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, for some more work on this. We're doing this 3 nights now, just for this week, where we're working on this build project. And Friday night will be 8 p.m. until I feel like closing up the stream. So it'll be a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hour stream, not longer, because we got to get some sleep before Saturday's Jack of all trades stream. We're still doing that, and that's 2 p.m. to midnight, 10 hours on Saturday, this coming Saturday. So I appreciate y'all coming out tonight. Thank you so much, everybody, for chiming in when possible. Thank you to lurkers. As always, I like to thank the people that come in and sit and hang out. No obligation to chat when you do come in here, but if it's because you need a topic of conversation that you're not chatting, I love talking about comic books, TV shows, movies, and of course, whatever it is I am streaming at the time. So I thank you all for coming out tonight, and I appreciate each and every appreciate each and every one of you. Bye bye. Ah.